The whole site was actually covered with 19th century mining rubble. This area was mined very extensively in the 18th and 19th century. The site then looked in a little bit of a mess, as you can see, and it was in the middle of a country park. So the Welsh Development Agency and the local council were given the job of making the site look a bit neater, making it blend in with its surroundings a little better. So what they decided to do here was cover all of this area, which is the area more or less from the front of this building up to the road, cover the whole area in topsoil and grass, flatten the area off underneath where you are and where the visitor centre is, and build a car park on top of it all. Now, before you can build a car park on top of a known 19th century mine, you've obviously got to be sure that there's nothing underneath it that's just about to collapse. Obviously, the last thing the council wants to do is build an enormous car park, and one day there's 200 cars sitting on it and they all disappear into some enormous hole somewhere. So they asked the local mining company to come along then, dig into Vivian's shaft, which is just down at the end of the path here, and do a survey of all the underground mine workings, just to make sure it's safe to let all these cars park on top of it then. So that was in November 1987, and it gave local cavers and archaeologists, along with this mining company, a chance to go into these mines and have a look round. And it was the first time anyone had been into them for over 130 years, since 1864, when the mining actually finished here. As soon as we got into the mines, at first we found what we expected, which is very extensive 19th century mine workings, but we also started to find a lot of evidence for much earlier mining here as well. So a lot of work was done then over the next few months, and we soon started to obtain evidence that told us that the early mining here actually dated back to the Bronze Age, and that it was very, very extensive as well. So it's really decided from there that something should be done with this site. You couldn't just cover the whole thing back over, and the site really should be excavated and developed. But archaeological excavations on the scale that they've taken place here now do cost a lot of money. Around about £500,000 has been spent on this site now. That money then had to come from somewhere, so it was then decided if we open the site up to the public as a tourist attraction, if you like, then people like yourselves come along because you want to see what's here and you pay to see what's here. And the money that you're paying is really paying off the bank loans and paying for all the ongoing running costs and all the future archaeological excavations which are going to be taking place up on the Great Orme for probably the next 60 or 70 years or so.
In the olden days, working in this lot. Oh, man. We don't know about it. No. Anything about it? It's a bit the steps now. Slave man's one like this, wasn't it?
But the evidence that we have obtained over the last 2 years does tell us really that we were originally completely wrong, and that chamber was mined much, much earlier than we at first thought. You may have seen in the little section around the corner there that we mined, probably every few inches there were little rounded grooves which are the marks by our drills. And you may have seen on the way down maybe 6 or 7 of those little rounds. That's right. I mean, even they were crossing the channel into sort of France in those times as well. And so they could trade and travel, sort of great.
You're making progress, Elizabeth. It's brighter here.
Oh yes, been down, climbing now.
Oops. There's a step there.
train down there.
Is there?
Yeah.